NBA, Bucks and the Clippers, we may have a problem. What is going on? It is your boy, the mad scientist, Hoops Life 24Q7, and this is another episode of the Green Light Special because we cash bar only here, baby. Either way, man, these two teams, the Milwaukee Bucks just beat the Clippers 105-100, where Giannis Antetokounmpo scored 17 of the last 20 points scored for the Milwaukee Bucks, minus the last two free throws that Chris Middleton hit when the game was basically done. It was basically over. And they won 105-100, man. So big to see by them. Yanni hit a big corner three late in the game, as well as he had a tomahawk jam a lemma against Marcus Morris, who was just like, out of the way. Either way, man, it was a great game. This was on ESPN, and let's talk about it. So before I even start to kind of dive into this game, I really want to know what you guys think in the comments. What you think about the Milwaukee Bucks? What you think about the Los Angeles Clippers? Do you think either one of these teams are actual championship contenders, or are they just teams that are right on the cusp that really probably won't break through? Because for me, I think the Clippers actually do have a chance. I think if they kind of come together and figure things out, that they really do. For the Bucks, I don't see it at all. Not at all whatsoever. Not this year, maybe in the future, but not this year. But for the Clippers, I think there's a big one of the big problems that they've been having is Lou Williams. Lou Williams is not having a great year. So Lou Williams, over his last 3 years, right, he has averaged 20 points, 22 points, and then 18 points last year. And this year, he's only averaging 12 points, 2 boards, and 3 assists. So what's going on with that? So what I think about sweet Lou Williams, man, ATL Lou Williams, baby. So Lou Williams, the thing about his game is he is a pick and roll maestro. And when I say that, man, I mean literally a pick and roll maestro. His assists the last 3 years were all above 5.5 a game, and then this year, like I said, he's at 3. So what kind of happened to his pick and roll game? What was the major difference? The major difference is Montrezl Harrell. Him and Montrezl Harrell had ridiculous flow off that bench. They pick and rolled like crazy. Do you guys remember watching that last year when they would come off the bench? It was either Montrezl averaging 18 a game, or it was Lou averaging 18 a game. And those guys were, every time they got the ball, you knew they were a threat in the pick and roll, because Montrezl is great at cutting. He's great at finding openings. He's great at getting offensive boards. Offensively, he is very smart at knowing where to be. And Lou Williams, they just have flow. And when you have flow with someone, you have chemistry with someone. I don't know if any of you guys play basketball. If you have played basketball, and you may have that one partner or that one friend where you guys have great flow, great chemistry together. It's unspoken, basically. Well, that's what these two guys had. And that's not something you can always teach with two players, but when you have it, you have it. And getting rid of Montrezl Harrell, not re-signing him, and him only taking that small 2-year, $19 million deal with the Lakers, that was a huge blow to the Clippers. Yes, I think Serge Ibaka is a great starter for that team. Zubac off the bench is good, but that 1-2 punch off the bench, I think, is absolutely crucial for the Clippers to really succeed at the next level. And they have not figured out a way to fill that void, because Marcus Morris, man, he's a great player. He's a great shooter, but he's more of a spot shooter now. A good defender, but he's not a pick and roll guy like Montrezl Harrell was. So I think that's really a big issue going forward for the Clippers. And I think they need to figure that out if they want to make that next step. Otherwise, I think their peak will be the conference final championship. And I don't think they'll win that. Now for the Milwaukee Bucks, a player that really impressed me is Dante DiVincenzo. Now, his numbers aren't eye-popping this season. Now, he's only scoring 10 points a game on 4.7 boards and about 3 assists a game, but his minutes have increased every year. His points have increased every year, as well as this year he's shooting a career-high 39% from 3, which is really what they need. But the difference with DiVincenzo is he is a stone-cold defender. He will get the boards when you need it most. He will make the dirty play. He will make the scrappy play. And if you guys don't remember, DiVincenzo, he was a national champion in college when he played for Villanova. Now, DiVincenzo, he wasn't even that biggest player for their team, but he came in the championship and just balled hard, and he had just a different type of persona in a big moment. Obviously, the biggest moment of most players' career, right? But now he's with the Milwaukee Bucks, and now he's playing with Giannis. Now he's playing with Chris Middleton. Now he's playing with Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday just came back today, and he was still getting his legs right, so he wasn't playing that good. And I'm a huge Drew Holiday fan. Ever since he was back on Philly, man, he was an all-star in Philly. I don't know if you guys remember him being there, because then he went from Philly, then he was on New Orleans, and now he is on the Bucks. And Drew Holiday, he is a great defender, but the Bucks are, you want to say that they're just a piece away, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case. First of all, I think they need to move away from Brook Lopez. I think that Drew Holiday is a great piece that you want on any championship caliber team. I think Chris Middleton is a fantastic 3. I mean, this guy's money. He shoots efficient. He makes big shots. He knows when to step up, and he can. And he's ice cold from the free throw line at the end of the games. Right? So if you guys are Bucks fans, I'm really curious to see what you think that you guys need to get over the hump. I do think Brook maybe needs to go, maybe need to trade him, get something different. I understand he's a good player. Maybe he would be best off the bench, coming in for a spark for offense. And I know his defense was pretty good last year. It was career high for him for blocks a game. But the thing about Giannis, dude, is as we've all seen over the last 2 years, specifically in the playoffs, teams can shut him down. They build that wall, they shut him down. He cannot drive. His three-point shot is not that good. He's only shooting 28% from 3 this year. 28%. So you take 2.8 shots out of 10 from 3. That's not that good, man. It's really just not that good. And his shot, when he misses, sometimes he misses just like, what? That is so far off. And his flow, if you actually watch his shot from many years back, he had a much more natural release. Now it's a little more stocky, stationary, and it's just, I hope it evolves, because I really like Giannis. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good player, and I think he brings a great global audience to the game, and I really would like to see him evolve to that next step. And it's like, how could Giannis evolve? He's already a 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. Well, ask Giannis, man, because he knows that he needs to work on that outside game, because in the playoffs, every time they come short, only one conference finals appearance. Giannis, in that year, they could have made it to the finals. That was the year when they lost to Toronto, and Toronto went ahead. They won the first 2 games, then lost the next 4, and Toronto went ahead and won the championship against the Golden State team, that if whatever team came out of the East was going to beat that Golden State team, because there was no KD and Klay Thompson got hurt. So, I mean, obviously, you know, we don't know if Klay would have got hurt, pending it was a different team, but saying that he did, then, you know, any team would have won from the East. But either way, man, I just kind of wanted to cover both these teams very briefly today, this afternoon, because we're going to do a double post today, where I'm going to do another one later tonight, kind of going over everything else that happened in the NBA today. But this was the afternoon game. I wanted to cover both these teams a little bit. I kind of do these games. I cover individual teams kind of specifically, games that I get to watch and, you know, enjoy it. So sorry about yesterday's video. I know that was kind of crazy, but either way, it is your boy, the mad scientist, Hoops Life 24Q7. Stay tuned, stay with me. Peace.